Welcome to Millennia, entities of all the coils. Be ye a man, woman, child. Be ye spirit, creature, demon. Be ye a native, migrator, or even if you're an invader into this realm of Millennia, I welcome you into Millennia, for I am your host, the Millennia Mailman, here today, and I'll be world building for you and all those others caring to join us here in the realm of Millennia on this fine Storytime Saturday. This will be the final video in this little playlist of this dynamic between the 11-year-old writing a letter to his parents, mainly in regards directly to his stepfather, the Mr. Deaf. I was put here where, as going through it and recognizing it is a very emotionally charged relationship that the child is articulating seems to have been put on ahead because of how the life experiences that the child is going through and what he sees and how he's articulating it because of his mental gymnastics, be it here, be it there, or anywhere in all of life. In the 11 years of his living is really coming to a crescendo at the head into what has exploded into the parents openly questioning the child for his actions, his deeds, the things he's saying, the things he's doing, the things he's teaching, acting upon and acting for and towards, that doesn't have that stamp of approval from mom and dad. So it is this particular playlist of story time that really describes the inherent internalized dichotomy between the parent and child here in this particular story is what is so powerfully impactful and really drives home the mindset that any and everyone should very much be considerate and appreciative of the lives they live and the people they live their life with, especially when there isn't hate, because this story written by and from the perspective of this 11-year-old child has very deep-seated hate and resentment for his parent. It is a very, very telling tale being written down in 8 pages of why exactly there's such a wedge between the expectations of his parents and the actual outcomes that the child has been displaying. It is a very telling dynamic of the child mindset and how limited the child's perceived reality is bound to be, because he has no idea what is going on in the day-to-day, moment-to-moment reality of the parents. How, because of what the parents are hiding and allowing to be shown and what the parents are acting on and doing for the betterment of the child, is being seen and perceived in the particular negative light that the child is projecting through this 8-page essay to his dad, Mr. Deaf. Because hello, can't hear anything. Like, maybe you didn't hear me. Maybe you didn't see me. Maybe you didn't this. Maybe, just maybe. I will continue to be optimistic and like, this is like a the way I read through it is really like a kind of like a cease and desist. Like, hey, Since you didn't hear me the first time, I'm gonna write it out for you. I'm gonna spell it out for you. Granted, all the words I spelled were wrong, but yeah, I do sincerely hope you get the point I was trying to make when you read it, if you could read through it at all. I sure hope you understood the points I was trying to get at. Because again, this is an 11-year-old child, so me myself and knowing the expectations my parents had on me as a child to learn and build my vocabulary, it's probably for reasons like this. It's like, hey, we want you to be well articulated, but we also want to understand you if your well articulation is in the form of sent and received messages without Google and stuff. Because when I was growing up, we certainly didn't really have Google around. It wasn't the world at your fingertips as it is for now generations nowadays, right? It's either you know how to spell, you know how to talk, or you don't. So I was given a dictionary, a thesaurus, and a syllabus, a book of synonyms, because by golly, if I wanted a bigger, better vocabulary to help myself sound like I deserve to be in the room full of smart people, I needed to actually search for it instead of typing half a word and then Google word prompts and the DM messages will help me out where I fail. I don't even have to get the full word typed into this little box no more, right? Back in my day, you had, if you wanted to know what the hell a word was, you needed to actually have the dictionary on you. Otherwise, you'd just be seen as all the stupid things you definitely were for using the words wrong. That but again, this story that I got from a buddy who brought it to the male peer group and started talking to us and sharing with us his troubles on what came to a head with the submission of this relatively formal letter from child to parent. This was something very emotionally impactful and very telling. I'd say it's probably the biggest thing about it was how emotionally telling and draining it was for that time and generation that it actually happened in. It was rarely show and telling of what the younger generation was going through and was bound to continue and get progressively worse if we as the older generation didn't clock it and correct what we possibly could in the best time we had to do it. So this here was a young man, an 11-year-old's letter to his father and mother about why he is and was acting the way he was acting. And he articulated it rather well. I know I don't necessarily want to agree that he articulated it well in and of myself, because by golly, the grammatical and spelling errors in this passage is just so, oh my dear lordy, it is so hurting my feelings. It hurt my brain. A number of times my CPU is fried trying to read through this. But I digress. The story itself being shared through the past couple of videos is really telling of how emotionally involved and integrated this dynamic of parent and child separation is prevalent in modern society nowadays. It is a rather telling explanation for why families are effectively getting split up and separated and broken down as often and as frequently as they are nowadays, because the advancement of technology has begun to pretty much take over anything and everything. So, with the advancement of technology and with the promotion of the information age, this child, in more ways than one, feels like they have been cheated out of a proper childhood, because at the age of 11, and I want to remind you going through this understanding that this is an 11-year-old child who has all of this and all these things to say about what he's noticing, what he's witnessing and analyzing and trying to come to understand, because effectively he feels like he's forced to stay silent. He's forced to, hey man, shut up, just shut up for the better. You need to shut up to be the bigger person. You need to shut up to be the better man. You need to shut up and do what's right. And if you can't figure that out, you just need to shut up and think about it a little more. You need to think about it a little more, think about it a little more, think about it one more time, and you still do the wrong thing. So you might as well not do anything or just shut up until you are certain. Because if you are certain and you still get it wrong, that's going to be a whole different slew of cuss words, and shutting up will need to instill in you some more. So, and again, this is an 11-year-old child who's articulating his life and the experiences that are driving him to be this opposition to his mother and dad. So that is basically the case here, and I'm sure some people can relate, can understand, can empathize, and feel for this child and the things he felt he had to go through. And my main thing and hope is that more people would be able to recognize the importance of being able to understand and put yourself in the mind of your child, and how you look to the child you're trying to get to listen to you. Because especially ever since I came to hear of this story, anytime I babysit, I try to go in with this mindset of, I really wonder what I look like to these kids when I say or think or do something, because this right here, this story is the story of an 11-year-old, meaning he had to, at best, has memories of when he was 5-6 years old. So in the course of another 5 or 6 years, he's gone through so much to the point where he's now trying to branch out from his own lived experience to be better, and how that's just not ever seeming to be good enough. And it sucks. But c'est la vie, right? C'est la vie. Life's just life, and that's how life is. Get over it. So for a young man, a young fellow black individual at that, it's really telling and really critical. And for those reasons, I recommend and fully say, hey, to any and everyone, by all means, go read go not read but listen to the story times, the several story time videos I did in order to get through this little 8-page letter to his parents, from the child to his parents. I recommend anyone with an open mind for trying to understand and connect to youth and your desire to raise children to be better. Anyone with the mentality and mindset of parenthood and teachers to children and students, I recommend you to listen to this story, because it is very powerful and impactful for a number of reasons, regardless of your background or your beliefs, to be able to understand and connect to this poor child's perceived reality of the life experiences he's going through, and this manner to which he has ultimately articulated his circumstances and problems to be. But hey, that's just me, your Millennium Mailman here today. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, or share the video for more exposure. But that's everything I have to say about it, because I will continue talking for days, ages, and ages, and on and on and on, and rambling. So I digress. Peace. Oh.